Well, hello to Tuesday. Lindsay Duff here, responsible day trading. I figure I had a little bit of time this morning. I've been working pretty hard on getting a few new projects done. I'm the type of person that when I have something like that, I'm going to disappear for a little while, get it done, and then come back full force. So I'm in mid disappear right now, so I thought I'd just come back and say hello. Ooh, look at this. It's given us a really, really strong push to the downside the last couple of days into EMAs that aren't super, super strong. Oh, it's kind of a decision area, I would say. I put a little space between here because these two charts are on a different screen. And I want you to be able to separate between the two. So I'm spending most of my time looking right in here. This one I'm not looking at quite as much, but it does give me a little bit of an idea. This is not going down right here, right now. Would have been nice if I'd have grabbed that to the upside, but right as I was recognizing, I was still looking for the short at that moment. I was starting to recognize that it was not what it was going to do. We've got some major divergence between these pivots. And I'm wondering if this is a big overnight drop or if I need to refresh my chart. Oh, yeah, I think I need to refresh my charts. So the way I know that I need to refresh my charts is I'm looking at this long bar and I'm noticing that there's no activity really in the overnight, just from when I close my laptop overnight. I just want to see what time it gives me before 8:30. Yeah, I need to refresh my charts. It's going to take a while to refresh. So for now, what I'm looking at, and it's not going to change a lot about what's happening. It's just going to give me more information. This one long bar is going to be a lot more information. Okay. I'm going to wait for the refresh, so everything will be back in tip-top shape, and then we'll come back to it. I don't plan on spending more than an hour with this today, hopefully quite a bit less, and then we'll move on. Okay, only 10 minutes later, and we're back. This is out of place for a long. See what's happening here. This might pull back and give another push up above the 0 line. May have been just a little too early on that. We'll see here in a moment. Yeah, it was a little early on that. I'm gonna give this another chance right here. Little bar was doing it for me here. Trying to make the 233 run the show. And you let the 233 tell you, even though you saw this and ignored it. So don't ignore. Okay, so not patient, too patient enough. We got a wedge starting to kick. to be back behind here. Good still. I'm going to just add in another contract, but it's a little late now. There's our first slowdown sign. We got some, ooh, that's not just our first. Let's let this hold on for just a minute. I'm liking how this is, you still got 230, 160 ticks, but I like how this is breaching the top band. Still bluing up here. So if you know anything about me, you know I'm reaching past my tolerance level right now, because normally I'd have been out right here. Just watching right here in the immediate. Telling you, going past my comfort zone. This does have me wanting to exit by what the 233 is telling me. And it may actually even be moving my risk a little too tight too quickly. But we just gonna let this run for a moment. I'm gonna watch signals. Oh, here's a signal. Is it? Is it a signal? Still good. We're still good. Just keep pulling it in a little closer. Looking at, I'm gonna go ahead and take my exit here. It's starting to really struggle to keep pushing up. With some things that I'm watching in my new MACDs, we're starting to see a couple of signs. Let me pull this down a little bit so we can see the top. And really, I reached my pain tolerance. So the first two trades were losers, and this one we let run. Really what happened with those first two trades is I allowed myself, and this is something that I work with on my own. We all have things that we work to improve. And I even said it to myself. I don't know if I'll leave it in here because it's like, man, you're too early. I knew that I was too early. And let me show you why, because I'm going to turn these on. And right now, I'm not going to have anything that I'm going to do. I'm not going to take any short going against any of this, although it is at a major resistance area that we've seen already. So I'm just going to let it run for a minute. Let's see here. What I want to do is I want to come back and we're going to look at where I allowed myself to get a little bit ahead of myself. So what I have been doing and what I've been struggling with is I have my 233 on this other screen right here. I used to have it right here and I kept a lot of focus on it, which meant that I exited trades early. And it also meant that I would take just the smallest signals to enter. And sometimes, yes, it works. But most of the time, this is what ends up happening. And so what we're doing here is I'm seeing the strength down and I'm ignoring the fact that my bigger tick charts are still telling me more down. And so when they're still telling me more down, I need to be patient. I need to wait for other signals. There was a signal right here at this point, and it's funny, you know, how I exited this first one right before it took off to the upside. Would I have exited right here before it pulled all the way back and stopped me out? I don't know, because I didn't do it, but it may have been enough for me to not take the second one had I stayed in. The second trade that I took was strictly out of, oh crap, I missed my first trade. I exited early and I missed it. I know exactly what happened there, and that's what happens when we really get real with ourselves and we understand why we do things in certain situations. This way we can fix our behaviors, because this is something that I do. This is something that I have done. Let me put it that way, because it's not something that I'm continuing to do. It's something that I'm actively working on. So as it pulls back here, then by that time I'm like, oh, there's no way that it could be the trade, and I don't follow through with it, although it had given some really good signals that this was the push through. So the next one, take it when it shows itself, and there were many other opportunities all right up in here. And here is the pullback that happened. I had my wrist just a couple of ticks. My wrist would have been hit probably. Yes, definitely right in here. My wrist would have been hit because I was just keeping it a couple of ticks below here, which is keeping it at the short term, hey, I want to get out of here area. There was a little bit of signal of slowdown here. It was like the smallest signal of slowdown here, and there was no signal of a slowdown on the 41.81 and the 10.946. So my first one was minus a point. My second one was minus 1.25, so that's 2, 3, 4.50 that I was down. First trade I took 3 points off of. Second one I took 4 points off of, which has me 2.5 points up. So it would have been lovely to be 7 points up, but 2.5 is better than a kick in the teeth. So let me just go ahead and write. I have no doubt that there will be plenty of other opportunities today. There's actually one that's happening right now. It pulled back here. It pulled back here to continue with this move to the upside. It seems to be trying to die out, but trying to die out and dying out are two totally different stories. And it looks like that that area, that EMA on the daily chart, it's doing its thing. Now, what I may expect in the next couple of days, and I like to watch this and really just see what happens, is possibly a head and shoulders here to start pushing it back down. Man, I mean, it would be nice if we could push this back down and give us lots of areas to trade from. So, well, that's how we do it. First two trades were a loss. Second trade was a winner. Plus 2.5 points. Yes, I got lots of things to do today. The day is young, and it'll be nice to get back to the time when I can spend a couple of hours with it instead of 30-45 minutes, because you can really do a lot in that time. So looking forward to it. Anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, fabulous day. And I will catch y'all on the profitable side.